following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 1. It's only fitting that we're at the movies and we get a classic fizz sound with the classic OG battle. Now, I'm not talking about Seth and Yoshi. I'm talking about the OG where this league started. Real OGs know New York, New Jersey is always going to be the OG rivalry. Let's start it off with the New Yorker, Seth Cole. Upstate, though. Seth's been doing pretty good so far this year. A big run in T2. Got himself a 2 wins, starting to gain momentum. And he's looking to maybe take a chance with the little state rivalry against Yoshi. And for Yoshi, it was a game of just, let's forget it. Set it and forget it type stuff. After a interesting excursion with Radin, to say the least. But now he's back looking for some glory in the classic OG rivalry. We'll see how the fizz and the bubbles pops in the soda region. Hope you like that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Slapstick 64. We're continuing this 5-pack, this quintuple header. We've already had some interesting games, and we're going to start with some interesting nuggets as we go into that schedule. If we date back to yesterday, Drip Goldie was a 4-0. Let's make it 2 on the sleeps. That's when Cody Lamas took care of Lara in the 12-5, and Cody moving on. First win since September 9th. Man, the droughts have been really, really broken lately. That's 3 in a row on the droughts in terms of this, or 2 in a row in terms of the droughts. 3 in a row, excuse me, three in a row on the droughts, 2 in a row on the sweeps, and then our third sweep in a row after Nick and Eric played, and Nick got the best of Eric. He had all the rainbow assortments of Skittles in the candy region, took care of business in what was a intriguing game, to say the least, with that battle, Nick moving forward. We know what's coming up next, Seth and Yoshi. And the nightcap will begin back in the soda region, the 8-9 Classic. Abion DJ, the old Asian teriyaki battle, as I like to call it. Abion, of course, from Indonesia. DJ got some Asian in him. Should be a fun one, 7 o'clock. And then, hard to believe, this is a matchup in the candy region, similar to what we'll see tomorrow with Tago and Brad. Nam Brock, a Super League T5 match. Brock has only ever beaten Nam twice. However, both those times Brock beat Nam. Nam really didn't have to do much. He was already secured into the round 12 in Super League, and he pretty much was knowing 11-win season got you into Super League income T5. So now, first time they're both turned up. That could be something interesting to say the least as we round out the schedule and our primetime match at 9. Let's go to the match preview. As I said, Seth Yoshi, classic New York, New Jersey vet master. Yoshi coming in here, a classic 1-2, 7-11. Seth 2-2, 14-15. Similar to what you'll see tomorrow with Brad Tile. These two players in this tournament 1 year ago finished top 5. Yoshi with the silver, Seth Cole with the top 5. Seth coming off a top 10, finishing P9 in Automotive April. Seth 4-3 according to the CPU. We'll see how that one goes. Yoshi with the only medal of the group. We go to the pod now. It's going to be the winner of this game gets a shocker. Probably one of the biggest shockers up to this point. Asim Acosta breaking that long win streak 444 days ago. But there is an intriguing battle with this one, especially if Seth does win. Acosta took Seth 7 one time. So this isn't a foregone conclusion. And no matter what happens, whoever wins, it'll either be another New York, New Jersey, or state on state, New York on New York rematch with Acosta Seth Cole as the tri-state pod continues. And then, of course, a big win for Ed yesterday. I got Ed here today a little bit in a second. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Vapor M coming up at 10 o'clock Wednesday. That's a real wake-up with Seth Cole on the next Wednesday morning. Well, that's going to do it for a little of the pregame. We're going to go right into the scene. And into the scene, joining me in the booth is my man, Ed Ziemba. Ed, it's good to have you, my friend. Obviously coming off that win yesterday, but you got to go back into commentator mode. We all know what Seth can do. You obviously played Seth. Give us the lowdown, Seth. After that crazy best of 9, how does Yoshi try to figure him out? Because we know Seth is a guy that's been in the booth and is getting more experience and reps as it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Seth is still riding off that momentum from last tournament a little bit. But you know what? Yoshi left very unsatisfied after last tournament as well. He's probably looking to turn things around here. So, we've seen some upsets already in this tournament, Andy and Ellison comes to mind. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we could see another upset today. And hey, the stakes are a little bit higher too with this rivalry between New Jersey and New York.
That's the classic, man. It's what started this league. It was built off the classic two states, and we'll begin with. I believe both players will speak, so I don't think it matters. So we'll begin with Seth Cole. Seth, it's good to have you back, man. Just fresh off the commentary booth, now into the arena as a player. I always ask you two questions, man. One, how do you encapsulate this rivalry? You've been in this rivalry before in terms of your own statehood. This is the first time I believe you're playing somebody from NJ because, other than myself, I believe it's the first time we ever actually had this rivalry, me and you, when we faced off in T3, ironically. Now you get the same match, this time with a different compatriot of New Jersey. How do you encapsulate the rivalry? And two, what have you seen so far from the commentator booth that you can apply here today?
Not so much if I'm into the New York New Jersey rivalry. I live in New York, but I don't think there's a single New York based team that I even root for or even root against in terms of New Jersey. So maybe I'm one of those weird New Yorkers that's not exactly completely loyal to my state. But regardless, though, to your point, in terms of the rivalry here in this Uno tournament, you just got to take everybody as they come, right? You can't take anybody for granted. We keep talking about the fact, with all these unusual matchups that are going to be taking place here in this round of 16. The ranking number is just a number. The skill level is off the charts with everybody that it's in this entire tournament and has been the entirety of this year. So it's basically just a take them as they come, try and maybe see if you can get a read on them. But leading into the second part of your question there, I adapted a lot of different varying facets to my strategy after T1, applied that into T2 and observed in T2 as well. And I honestly feel like now I'm playing a little bit more comfortable with some of those adjustments that I've made here in 2025. So we're just going to keep calling on that here for T3, see if if we are able to move forward. I'm fully prepared in going into the final game of this series because in all 3 games that I was in last time, we went into the final game of the rounds of 7 and we went into the final game of the round of 9. So gearing up for an endurance battle today for sure.
Yeah, the endurance battle, man. You've been battle tested. Now going to Yoshi or go to you. Also, by the way, Seth, agree. I don't really root for any New Jersey teams, anyways. That makes 2 of us, really. But we'll go over to Yoshi. Yoshi, listen, it's been well documented. It was not the tournament. Let's forget the games aside with the whole Radin situation. It was whatever moment. Now you're coming in here trying to get the mentality back, trying to get back to where you belong. Of course, you made the run here 1 year ago. We all know what's in store in the next round with Acosta, but you can't look ahead. What's your thoughts on playing Seth, who's very challenging in many avenues the way he throws the game? Tell me what you're going to do here tonight. Go for it.
Yeah, I always enjoy playing against players I haven't played before. And Seth has made some big made a name for himself. He's got some good wins, not just this year, but also in the last year. I think he was pretty close to getting Super League. I think maybe just missed out for just maybe like could have gone a little bit farther in one tournament, but still, I think this is definitely a match where I'm just gonna I'm gonna read. I'm just gonna try and play to see how the games go. Um, like you can like do all this. Oh, watch this opponent's stream, see exactly the way they play. But I feel like every game's different. I Even if I had the time for that, I feel like every game is different. It's like you have to go in knowing that anything can happen. Even if you know exactly what the player's going to do, it doesn't mean you're going to win. So I'm really just going to try and take this as I'm just going to play with what I get and try some things out and hope it works. I mean, if I don't get the win, then it is what it is. But I'm definitely not going to go down without a fight.
All right, appreciate that, Yoshi. Should be a good one here. Today our ref will be Christian Tago. You know the winning lottery numbers. That's double deuce. Should be a good one in the old 111 Classic Trips 1. The Classic BO7. The Classic Rivalry. It's time to make it happen. Only fitting that we got a ref from New York, but in PA right now. Ed's going to be with me. I'll take the game one honor. Seth, you know this move, buddy. It's game one. You know the drill. How many for that first one, my friend?
That mid-tier start was fun back in T2, so let's kick it off with 10.
All right, well, we just saw that with Lara Lamas. Here we go, 10 cards, 5 on the right, 5 on the left on the fingers and toes. We're underway with, ironically, the opponent next, Acosta 9. And Ed, before we get into these guys, what a game from Acosta yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely showed out. No one had him win that game. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, and it's a feel good story too. You know, he hadn't won in so long, so it's always great to see a big upset like that.
And we'll see now as we go to the game here, as Seth will go for the one per. Yeah, but for the most part, most of the media didn't. We all know the media, but here we go. Back to this game now. Really looking forward to seeing how Seth can develop a little bit more of the momentum you talked about in T2 with his controls. Yoshi, of course, here didn't have it. Like I said, just couldn't get what he wanted in T2 because of some shenanigans aside. Just couldn't get the cards to connect. Regardless, though, I'm looking forward to seeing how the battle lines are drawn here as both players continue to play it cool. Seth makes the opposing switch here to red.
Yeah, keeping it red for a second here. Seth was the first one to make that move to the color, maybe just fading that yellow possibly.
And Zach from Ghost, one up this time. Continue to make a move here. Here comes Yoshi looking to backdoor it. Well, there we go. There we go. A little small straight. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Sure.
Yeah, the old small straight action. And we'll go to the 7 now. We'll break that straight. Very similar game, I got to say. We all were, buddy. But regardless, very similar game to what we saw earlier with Cody Lamas and Lara, man, because a lot of just numbers, really calm, composed.
Yeah.
See what happens here. Who will break that chain will be interesting, for sure. Comes Yoshi looking for a move. We'll go to the green. Well, there we go. Opening up Pandora's a little more. Just waiting for the blue. Let's see what Seth will have.
Pretty calm start so far.
Absolutely. It's calm, composed, just some small switches, nothing crazy. Here comes Seth. Let's see what we'll do. Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy. Let's see what he will pop off right here. So far on the scoreboard, nothing crazy. 6 ups. Let's see. Seth Cole loading back, stepping up. Let's see.
Might have a decent run here.
Yeah, well, that's the move. And huge. Oh, he's gonna throw a draw in there, but a smart play to leave it open on the skip, right, or a +2 for sure.
Okay, he might be looking for a color change. Maybe he's hoping Yoshi has a little skip. Yeah,
I'd be shocked if Yoshi throws the switch over. Does he play into that? I'd be very stunned on that one. We'll see. No, not gonna play
green.
Seth's get the 5 though. Does he have a 5 back door? No.
Ooh, out.
So Seth's out and Yoshi's out. So now we go to draw city, maybe temporarily. Let's see what Seth's got here. Still nothing. Eerily similar so far, and Short can attest it. I'm not going to buy or Seth ran, but he can attest this was definitely similar to what we saw Lara Lamas game 1. Very ran it dry, right? Cool. Draw city when you need to.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen when we get to blue too.
That, and you wonder if we start to look into this poker meta, because the poker hands are possible. We have seen as Seth looks for a topper right here.
There it is.
There we go. There's your blue. Good read, Ed. JT. What Yoshi have right here? Does he roll with it, play clean? We'll find out. Long way to go on the scoreboard, too. 8 to 11. A long way to go. You got game 1 feeling of that. Both players now opening up Pandora's. Yoshi with a double. Does the double the old-fashioned way. Just no chaining it. Just single plays. Interesting. Here comes Seth. He'll play cool into M again. Going one up from his last play from JT to M. Yoshi looking to fire back with the blues. Let's see. What does he have here?
Seems like both of them are trying to get those numbers to work, kind of saving the ammo towards the end.
Yeah, could be saving it. Could be have nothing either. Could be have nothing. We'll see.
Could be nothing as well.
We've seen this bot. It's been tame sometimes, and it's been tame so far. Top 4 to Nick. Here we go. Down to retro. One down this time. Maybe it's starting a straight. Seth looking to fire in with the blue 8. What does he do off this? Taking his time right here. Looking to expand the lead. No, ditto.
Seeing a lot of blue. These guys have a lot of blue.
Well,
Oh, but he's out.
not so fast, says Yoshi. He's out. Let's see what Seth will have here. Seth go for the 8 switch. Perhaps a Camaro could be in order. We'll find out. See what he got.
Keeps rolling with this blue. It could be huge.
Yeah, that would definitely be a warning shot if you can continue to roll the blue. I agree there at 100%.
He's cooking up something. Oh,
Yeah, there it is. Into the red, 0 sugar, and now Seth getting close to that red zone. This time in the red, and, well, gotta think here, Ed. We had just flipped off the red, so I'm interested to see what Yoshi has in this red.
yeah, maybe got some off the draw, but we'll see. It might not be his strongest color. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
think it
look
through a
at
little
it.
bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be through, unless the draw 2 gave something from the return. We'll see. Unless Yoshi just says, you know what, screw it. Let's just go back to blue. We'll see. He's
Wouldn't be
got
the
some
worst
options here. Yeah, he's got some options here. You know, Seth is a player to have some looks for sure. And he's learned. He's learned from the booth, as we said. Documented, well documented. He's more than seasons as a streamer now. Understands the meta, understands the league. Yoshi, of course. Ironically, these two players were, I want to say, hold the phone. I think they were 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, around that bubble all year of Super League. Of course, we didn't have 16 players in D1 last year. It was 15 and a D2 champ. So that made a little bit of a difference. This year we'll have full 16 pack, no D2 champ crossover. So that is interesting to know. They were both on the bubble. 6 wins for Seth last year. Then Yoshi had 7. And here's the +2.
Oh, here we go.
And as we
It's a double.
mentioned, they both finished top 5 in this very tournament a year ago.
Right. Right. Yeah, they're well seasoned. They're well seasoned. There's no doubt. It's just going to come down to who will have a little bit more of that edge as we go into a double play from Yoshi. How does Seth react? Did he have a finish? No. So I don't know if he had anything cooking on that play at all there. And I don't think he had anything at all.
Still, I think it's a smart move by Yoshi. Add that +2. You never know what Seth could have had there. So, kind of a
This is
yeah. Oh,
yeah. This
there
is
goes the red.
this is definitely. I'm getting shades of Larry Lamas game 1, and really not a lot of. Whole lot of nothing right here. Yeah, whole lot of nothing. And it's interesting, Ed. It's hard to read as a commentator when you see every color being drawn at some point, as there's the red deuce and that. You have 2 things. One, it's that massive poker hand. What?
Oh. Error there, perhaps.
No, I wasn't nowhere.
Oh yeah, just lag, I guess.
Well, we have talked. Whoa.
Oh.
What?
Am I seeing things? Wait. Huh.
That's odd.
Well,
I've never had that one happen before, man.
Hey, you see
Yeah,
something new every day, Uno.
Yeah, we're good. Now it's your turn, Seth. Yeah, it's just some mind tricks there. I may have short take over after this game as well, just to check if everything's good on the back end. Looks to be okay now, so we should be good. Well, I was just going to say we are
Oh.
moving. We are moving from Buffalo to Virginia, so that is happening this weekend. It's interesting. Zero sugar in Seth as we go for a double play from Yoshi here.
He's liking this yellow.
Oh man, he goes for a double Gerard into a triple, and now that gives Seth 6 freshies with 4-card advantage to Yoshi now. Make it 5.
Seth's gonna keep it cool here. Well, just a cool response. I think Yoshi's
Well,
kind of rolling with it, but we'll see how Seth responds.
Seth with 6 freshies. You got to think something's in the back door here. Let's see what he's got. We saw this earlier today. This reminds me a lot of Larry Lamas. It was very calm, pretty tame, and then all of a sudden it took one little ammo shot, and then boom, the war began. So
It's been a lack of wilds too. I wonder if anyone's been saving that, or if anyone got some off the draw. So we'll see if anyone's saving a wild as well.
right now you'd have to think that if we do see a Wild's backdoor or this +6 return, let's see what Seth will do here. Yoshi now starting into that red zone with 3, first time all game. See what Seth will do here. We'll see what we'll cook up. Our +2s are juiced on yellow, so that will make things a little more intriguing. This goes for a double
Yeah.
in the Flesh Man, as I call him, Austin Rodgers. And Yoshi's out.
Oh, ow. Did not expect that. I thought maybe he would have something to connect there, but
It's been low. I mean, it's been, like you said, low in the wilds, low in the +4s, really just low everywhere other than the +2s. It's been more of a number game. We talked about these poker hands. This is something we can look into. We're going into red now.
back to red.
Oh, my.
Huh.
Seth now gets an exposed play on the reds. He might have some vulnerability. Yoshi might have some vulnerability. This could be what he wants. Here we go. Momentum
Yoshi might be
shifting.
trying to get back to green. Haven't seen green in a while.
Yeah. Let's see. But first, see what Seth's got right here. Seth looking for
This is
the
time to
lead and
strike.
then some. Yep.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got the double. Okay. Up by 2. Yoshi topper. Let's see what Seth will have now. Here comes Seth. What has he got? Still has more in the tank. Seth now at 2. Yoshi couple cards back. What does he play? Just draws. Here comes Seth for our first sign name date dotted line. We'll find out. Can he get it in check?
Let's see what he's got here.
Tago might think we might get a finish. Is this a finish? That's a heat check.
Ooh,
His own card too.
what can Yoshi do there?
First wild too. That's a huge one. Back to blue. Unless Seth's got double wild, this will work. Yes, it does work. Yeah, that's the only way it wouldn't have
Smart.
worked. Yep. Well, Seth get off the
Alright.
topper now. Comes down to top decks. Nothing. Tie game now.
From the KT to the ad, look at that.
Yes. Hey, man. That's what we do, baby. Here comes Yoshi. Oh, that might be game.
Oh,
Off the green. Wow, it's
Wow.
a green-blue battle. That's all he needed. I'll go to Seth here. Seth, first off, did you think about power play right there, or did you just kind of say, screw it, it's game 1 or too early for it?
I
Alright.
normally don't, but I'll be honest with you. I strongly considered power play there. I twice thought about utilizing it. I can't say in hindsight that I absolutely should have done the power play because we don't know what the upcoming games have, but it definitely was in
Yeah.
consideration. Good on him having that wild to counter it. That was pretty much that, or a wild +4 was pretty much the only thing he would have been able to have to stall me out. So he had the right card for it. I think that's maybe the first time I've ever considered using the power play in the very first game, but we got it still in reserve. We'll see what happens here in game 2.
Was it a case of just lack of connectors, Seth? Lack of connectors, really? We saw everybody just drawing back on every color. That was interesting.
It really was. The connectors just weren't
Okay.
there. I think it was 2 reverses off the start and a skip, and they were in 3 different colors, and even with the drawbacks, there was no connectors there, so it really came down to just trying to control color and number efficiency for the most part.
All right. I got you, buddy. And Yoshi will be back, so I'll wait for him to say back. So we'll go to Ed here. It might give me a chance to maybe check what was going on there in a second. But you heard it right there. It was a case of just lack of connectors off the top, right? It was more of a game of just biding your time, played the patience on the DC to draw city, and ultimately they both needed the opposite in a way. But Yoshi kind of needed both color sets, just needed that one green and couldn't get the connector. So we'll see what asks Yoshi. Yoshi, your thoughts on first off that wild flush? Did you have that wild at the beginning of the game? I'll start off there.
So I believe I actually got the wild off of one of the latest draws I did.
Okay.
So yeah, I was trying to play the game. Like I said, like I'm playing the hand that I have. Like I'm not always gonna have a finish prepped up. And like my last few cards were like, if it was the right color, I would have won the game. However, uh, I didn't. It wasn't there. I then drew a wild. I was like, okay, he's at 2 cards. I was thinking I have a wild right now. Uh, but if I figured, okay, if he has a +4, there's nothing I can do. If he has a wild, it's better for me to save this wild than to play it right now. So I waited just to see if he had a wild, and then he did. So I was able to counter it. That was literally just like a last game thing. I'm like, okay, he's at 2. There's a good chance he has a wild because I haven't seen any wilds yet, and that's really what it came down to.
So it was a similar case? You guys were drawing. I was just asking. Said you guys were drawing basically the same draw cities every game. Was just lack of connectors, couldn't find any rhythm, just waiting for draw city to open up. Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll answer that. So yeah, I feel like the obviously the bot didn't give me like a huge run for me to really do. I mean, I had some action cards, like I had a couple +2s, but it didn't seem like, given with the other cards I had, it wasn't really going to lead into like a massive finish or anything. I kind of just had to like think like psychologically, like what I think Seth is trying to do, because when you don't have a run, you have to kind of think more about the game than just, oh, I need to get the run to the end. I actually needed to like play. I need to play a certain way, and I feel like that's what got me the win there.
I appreciate those thoughts. And it's interesting, man. When we saw this earlier with Cody Lamas and Lara, when you're not getting the cards you need, this patience game works for sure. But when both players don't have it, and this one doesn't appear, this was. Don't really want. Sal, I'll ask you. You didn't have no poker hand, right? You didn't have no crazy poker though this time, right? I know Yoshi.
No,
did.
nothing like that.
Okay. So that's interesting. Yeah, with no crazy poker, the fact that they're connecting, this is not a new meta, but something interesting where they're almost playing into the game flow. Your thoughts on that? I didn't see your match with Alan yesterday. I didn't see much of the accosting. I had to really review the tape, but is that what you saw yesterday when you were playing Alan?
Well, yesterday with me and Alan, I think it was a little more ammo heavy. Today,
Okay.
I think the patience game really paid off here, especially in this first game for Yoshi. Saving that wild for the right time was really smart. I can see how Seth could have used the power play there, but you don't really think about using the power play in the first round. So I think Yoshi was just smart to save that wild, and it paid off for him.
We'll keep it rolling here. Now it'll be a 10-card start off the board for Yoshi in Game 3, but it's Seth, free board. Seth, what do we got, my friend? Anything you like?
Go down 1, 9.
We'll go 9. The classic. This is a classic special. JT, we'll see him tomorrow against Peter Onjak. He's one of those guys that loves the 9-card special. And we'll start it off with Mr. Carrots himself, Monkey Boy, on the table. Here comes Seth now. First card, first draw. Let's see what we'll do. What does he get off the draw? 9 cards. This can go quick. We've seen 9-card starts sometimes be quick. And, well, I'll switch over to Logan.
Big switch.
He got memed yesterday when every time after the Ellison game, we kept starting on him after the loss, so the pot took receipts. Here comes Yoshi now. Let's see how he'll react to that opening switcher. Could be a case here. Yeah, go for it.
I'm wondering how Seth is with his yellows. I'm wondering if he's lacking, or maybe he just wants to save it for later. It's a little tough to say, but they're gonna roll with yellow, or I mean, with red for now.
Well, that's the beauty of camouflaging and masking your looks. There's always an art to it, and you gotta know when to mask and camouflage at the right time. 9 cards though, hit or miss. It's the borderline. If it's 5 cards, yeah, you're most likely you're flushed out. But if it's 9, it's a risk of, okay, I can theoretically plant that seed of, oh, maybe I have some, but just gotta wait, or maybe I don't, for sure. Here comes Yoshi now. See what he'll do. I think the patience game is starting to wear on both players now. They're both well equipped with that patience game. There's Seth now. with his turn after a ghost 1. He's drawing, so that's
out of
interesting.
red.
Seth makes the switch and draws on the ISO red. ISOs himself, so does he have any yellow? And that's going to be the key, because if he doesn't, that means he's too colored out. He's too colored to the rest.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Yoshi can do here. It's very similar to last game so far, just kind of with the rolling with the numbers, drawing here and there. So, and
Wow,
there we go.
You know, this reminds me a lot, and I guess I'll throw a short here for a second, man. This is what we always talk about. Well, you and me, sometimes we have this conversation. Obviously, I've been playing for a very long time. This reminds me of 2010 Uno. I'm not going to lie. This reminds me of 2010 vintage Uno, where you can play that patient game, relax. We're throwing it back 15 years, and maybe people are starting to evolve. That patience game really does matter now. We saw it, for sure.
We definitely saw it in the first game, I'll say that much. The first game of the day, I think just that patience game, and I think, my perspective coming from, I'm playing in Division 2 right now, and the patience game doesn't exist nearly as much in that division. More people go for the throat as Yoshi crosses to yellow here. People go for the throat a lot more, and I've noticed. I try to play patient in my first tournament of the season, because I've watched all these players play this way, and then I got burned 3 separate occasions in the same series, 1 turn away, and I thought maybe if I had a little more aggression to my gameplay, maybe that would have worked out. But in D1, the patience game can work against more people, because more people are going to take their time to get to the finish line here as we cross to blue, and Seth with the undercut. It's definitely a different, and I think we talk about the player base between divisions all the time, about how it's a younger base, a different base,
right,
in so many different ways. But strictly on the table, you see patience a lot more in D1. We saw that at the start of the day, we saw that yesterday, and we're seeing that right now.
Yeah, it's old school. Thank you, boy. And it's really what it is. It's an old school game. Right? There's a lot of respect we're seeing in these games. Even though we've had sweeps, a lot of respect and an element of, hey, we're not going to throw 10 baggers. I'm not going to throw you. I know we saw that one game with Eric, but if we exclude that one, really the whole tournament so far, from the games I've registered and saw and the ones I've had to look back on tape, it's been clean, precise games. There's nothing been too wild, out of control, for sure.
It's been very clean. I don't know if we've seen there's not been a single piece of ammo in this game so far.
No, just all numbers. Yeah. And maybe that's what you gotta do. And there's the first one, back to red.
There you go.
Let's see what Seth's got. Let's see if he's one of the masters of these wilds, though. We'll see.
Ooh.
Oh, Seth with the you know what though? That prevents a. We talk about this. Sometimes you gotta hold back on something, even though it's a +2 draw. What if the one was there? So I don't even mind that. And see, think about that. Think about that, Ed. You don't throw that +2, he's down at 2. So it's one of those calculated plays. See what Seth's got now.
Yeah, Yoshi might have had something planned for a finish, but grabbing those extra 2 cards might add a little disturbance to that.
Here comes Seth now. Makes the +2 bail. Let's see what he's got. What did he pick up off that draw? It's always the beautiful thing about this game. As he'll pick up a red skip draw, so he's going to try to play some defense, and it's working. There it is. You see that, though? That's what I'm saying, Ed, right? You don't throw that +2. All of a sudden, the momentum changes, and now Seth, with the little topper, may tie the score back up, pending... actually, he's got the lead. May actually extend this lead. And he will.
It's a yellow.
It's definitely, it's a patience. Take your time. Take your time. Don't hurry up. And now Yoshi's going to play it as well. Here he comes.
Lacking on the yellow and the red a little bit there. So I think those cards have kind of flipped into and then he's out. He's out too. More drawn.
Yeah, this is a style, Ed. Like I said, it's patient. It's old school. It's a stuff you just don't see a lot, really, in a modern day game. But now here we are, because we've seen it with Lara Lamas. I saw it yesterday a little bit with Drip Goldie. We saw a little bit. Drip was trying to play, but unfortunately just couldn't do it. Saw it Someone else was playing this game was a little bit. Oh, even Ellison to an extent. Even though he had some crazy aggression games, he was playing that. Looking back at the Acosta game, there was times where he was patient. I think there's just a new meta moving. It's coming back.
Ellison playing patient was probably the biggest plot twist, in my opinion, because we talked about his play style, about how he was pumping and dumping for tournament after tournament, and it was so frustrating to see him do that. But to see him play the way he did last night, bringing that patience in was really the key to him getting that big upset.
Yeah, it's basically a juxtaposition, right? It's Uno. You want to get to the first to the finish lines. Yoshi's gonna. This is the first time we've seen in a second here. We're gonna play into that skip draw. That's intriguing. But this is the first time we've seen in a hot second here, where this patience meta is starting to develop, and you wonder, okay, it's Uno. You try to get to the first to the finish line, but now it's almost becoming a game of, as Cody Lamas and Lara were kind of saying with the numbers, it almost is a poker game. Who blinks first? Who's got that bluff on the table? And you have to almost have some poker narrative to really get something cooking. As here comes Yoshi off the green skip, as he will go back into yellow. Interesting.
He wasn't too strong on that before. He might have picked up some more
Oh,
yellows.
wow. Seth undercut,
that's
yeah.
brutal.
So Seth with the undercut. Maybe doesn't want to go into draw city anymore. And Yoshi will play it cool. Here comes Seth now, into the blues. I think another thing that's allowing this patience game to continue to go is we go back to the double JT here from Seth Cole himself, ditto. Lack of ammo. I mean, that's the beauty, right, Ed? Lack of ammo, that means you really can play that patient game, where if it's an explosion, what you said you had against Allen yesterday, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, and both of them might have like a good amount of ammo. They're just trying to wait for a good chain to create.
It's the art of the game, right? You can't really upset yourself if you're going to play that game. You're both playing it. It's ninja on ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Slice and dice, for sure. It's the beauty of it, man.
Exactly. Into red. We both got it. Oh.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. I think I was lagging a little bit.
No, I was lagging on my end. I don't know what the hell happened here. I'm sorry, my friend.
I think we're both cutting out. Weird.
Yeah, sure. You could hear us, right? I was cutting out pretty bad. What's going on?
You're good on my end.
That's weird. Yeah, Ed and I were just lagging. I don't know. It's weird.
Ed was cutting a little bit. Katie, you were fine.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't hear it. I was okay. All good. There's Deck. Zach. I don't know. Could be a. I don't want to mention those words API, but you never know.
No.
Back to blue, and yeah, Ed, you can see it. This is ticky-tacky, right? Very controlling the pace. Nothing special. It's definitely a brand of Uno where you can tell longer games, endurance battle. I think it's because of the lack of ammo. It's making these players a little bit more intrigued about it. Here comes Seth trying to get this down a deuce. Let's see. Here he comes. Did he save it well? He may have saved it for... Oh, that is crazy. Is this Seth for the win? Yeah, that is insane. Hold on. Hold the phone here. I think that's the exact same way Yoshi finished, just the opposite colors. Don't... Wait a minute. Blue reverse, green reverse, 8. We got it. What is that? A blue reverse, green reverse, 9. That is insane. Seth, we're mirror driving, buddy. I don't know. It's the old bubble package, or you're playing some mirror drive. Talk to me about this patience game, man. We have seen the same exact meta where no +4s are being played, right? And you really gotta just play tit for tat, ticky tacky. You don't want to step on the throttle too much. Talk to me how the art of patience is actually a good thing, as we're seeing a game of just mirror driving and really playing the way you want to play on any color, considering you don't have the connectors. It's interesting. It's old school, for sure.
That's it. You're forced into being patient, because my kingdom for some connectors. I mean, back when I ended up drawing on red, I had a red +2. I just didn't want to play it because I was trying to hope for some connectors there. It's really coming down to having to be patient with the number efficiency, and fortunately was able to, on that last draw, it was in I think it ended up being blue 3, and I was trying to run in the blue and the green with the 2 reverses for the connector, but it's tough. It's so tough when you don't have those connectors to try and figure out, is it worth switching off this color right now? When's it right to go into the draw city? And normally if you end up having a card advantage, it makes the decision easier, but Yoshi and I were neck and neck most of the time when we would go into those draw cities, so it made the decision all that much harder.
Yeah, I got to ask you one other thing, Seth. Your thoughts on this old style brand of Uno? Obviously, you've been around in terms of life experience. You maybe growing up, you play a game like this where because you don't have the card history, you had to play this way, and you feel comfortable in this environment.
I do now. I don't think back in 2024. I don't think even back in T1 year of 2025. I don't think I would have been all that comfortable with this. I would have probably played a lot of my ammo in the early going and found myself stuck. But
Right.
After some of the, like I said, some of the adaptations I made back in T2, a little bit more comfortable with this style of play, but it is slightly unusual, especially having it in back-to-back games, having to kind of call on that patience factor
Right.
in 2 games in a row.
I'll go to Yoshi. Yoshi, I have to ask, was that a clutch +2 from Seth on that red wild? We were just talking about that on the broadcast. That pushed you back a little bit. Talk to me through it.
Yeah, I think I think it did push me back. If he just drew both times, I would have had a path. I would have had a path to win. It would have taken me a couple turns, but I was anticipating that he maybe just had nothing on red. And I was right, but he just had the +2. If it weren't for that, I probably would have won. I don't no guarantees, but because I don't know what he had at the time, because I would have had to switch and then hope he doesn't switch the color again or something. It was definitely more of a that wild was definitely more of a I guess I was trying to take a bit of a risk there. I knew that it could have backfired easily, but in a sense it did. But yeah, I'm not feeling too bad about this loss. I feel like making one too many switches, it's a thing that it's hard to predict, especially when we keep going to these draw cities. It's like I'm gonna try this blue hope he draws it here as well, and then he didn't.
And your thoughts on playing this meta right here? Lack of +4s, lack of ammo. Thoughts on this? It's definitely an old school feel. Thoughts on it? This remind you of any game you played in the past?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like I'm not at the top of my head. I probably have, but like I do feel like I'm generally used to like having a decent amount of ammo for the most part. I mean, this is like I do feel like I play well in this kind of meta, but it definitely forces you to really have to think more than you would if you had more ammo. And it in some ways it's good, in other ways it's bad. It really depends on how the game pans out, and sometimes sometimes you gotta like hope that things work in your favor, because there's always some luck element to this, but obviously not in the sense of like, okay, I'm hoping he gets a bad draw here or something, so then I switch the color hoping it stops him from winning or something like that. But it was just it's an interesting, it's very interesting. I actually, I do like it because it's, in a way, it ensures that like skill is definitely like the main factor of the series.
Ed, I'm gonna Tame is the name, but who will have the final say in this game? That's the rhyme I'm gonna go with. And we're playing Tame right now. I think the fans too. I think a lot of these fans here today, they're seeing a different kind of brand. But maybe you're somebody like Nick, who just joined, may have not seen Red, right? Cody Smart, short, used to that crackhead. This is different, man. I think we always talk about pre-bias in this league. I always talk about that in life. And sometimes the reason why we don't rush to finish is we've been in those situations where we rush to the finish. Oh, I got burnt. Oh, I got burnt here. Oh, and you almost become too hesitant. Oh, I'm down to one car. I'm there. And then 10 minutes later, I got burnt. Right? And I think because we are all becoming very experienced. Listen, some guys have been here for 13 straight tournaments, right? There's been guys from the start. Some guys have been here for 10. Some guys have been here for 9. Some guys are, just they don't know what they know, are rookies. But we've all played the game for so long, we almost everyone knows every single meta. As we continue to develop this bot, we're only a half a year into this program. It's fascinating how we continue to develop the battle lines, yet we're never going to ever find one true battle line because every game is different. Talk me through that real quick before we start game 3.
Yeah, I think it's evolving. I think when players are seeing that they can't quite get that finish, they can't find the connectors for the finish. So they're like, well, if I can get my opponent to start drawing and lead myself into a draw city as well, we'll both be drawing. And then maybe off this draw, I can find the cards I need. So then maybe I can switch off and find more connectors. But if not, get back to a draw city. They're just not rushing to the finish. They're appreciating these draw cities to find the cards they need. And that's really what we're seeing here with this patience game. And I'm wondering
Yeah.
if we'll see more of the same in this next game.
We'll see how this one goes. We've yet to see those +4s. We saw with Clay and Rogers, of course. So we did have, after the fact, Rogers didn't play some Clay. He didn't play some +4s, but we haven't seen one. This one, I don't think they've had one, period. So this makes things a little more unique. We'll go to Yoshi here. Yoshi, your call, buddy. No 10. Free board than that. What do we got? All right, 12-pack indeed. Now, like I said, sticking to this mid-tier. I guess Tame is the game, as Christian Tiger will let us in. All right, Tiger, whenever you're ready, feel free. There we go. Perfect. 12 cards in. Everything looks good on my end, so we'll move forward. JT5, and now, Ed, let's find out what the patience game will be. Yeah, the only thing we haven't seen yet, in my humble opinion, other than the +4s, is really that matching of ammo, right? More than just, we haven't seen the matching of, okay, end the round, we're going to see enjoy this meta now, because there are some players coming up in the next 2 games. Well, that's a mistake from Seth right there, jumping the gun, but we'll see how that factors in. Enjoy this right now, because the next 2 games coming up, we got Abion DJ, which Abion is a +2 wizard. Right, that's all he loves, +2 control, and buckle up for that last game. Brock, the fades, Nam, end around city. Yeah, forget it. That we're gonna have a different type of game there. And the reason why we had that different type of game too is we think about Abion and DJ. Okay, they've been around the block, but they have something they like. Nam he's still growing in life. He's still gonna make it happen, but he's gonna play a little more fast and aggressive and furious. And Brock likes to play that. That'll be more of the explosion. This calm, cool, collected. That's what you want to see in a game as we go red 3-1 down.
Down they go. Keeping it going pretty slow here, kind of going off the theme from last game here. And I know it's still a little early, but they still got those power plays in their back pocket too.
Back to the blue, so that's interesting as we continue to draw a crowd this Friday afternoon. Really appreciate everybody popping in as we got Ditto Nick. And right now you got to look at this, Ed, from 2 different sides of the coin. With the lack of +4s, with the lack of control in terms of what you can do to fade off as we go to yellow, but it really makes the game a box. And when you're in that box, it's hard to get the setup right. And you heard Seth, you talked about it right there as we go trip 0. It's so hard to get those connectors, so what's the best bet? Let's find something in the deck. And that's what these guys could potentially be doing soon. As here comes Seth making a run potentially.
Let's see who can roll with this yellow. And oh, there we go. Well, 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2, buck and 1 shoe. There we go. Ties it up on the +2s, 3 apiece. It's been even. Ammo's been even. It's been the exact same finishing cards. Here comes Yoshi. Yell 6.
Well, response.
The response, indeed. Here comes Seth now. Let's see what he's got off this response. Green 6 now from Seth.
There's the green.
What will it be here from Yoshi? Let's see if the patience game comes into play now. Let's see. Both have been doing a good job so far, other than that +2. Once again, and the reverse. Just low ammo, nothing silly. Let's see what Yoshi's got. Here comes the skip, looking for a double.
It's a blue.
Oh, gets out of it. Triple play, okay. So gets out of that one. Let's see what Seth will have now in the blue. Did Seth even have a finish in green? That's the question. Did he save some blue?
He switched off the blue before, so we'll see.
Now he can run with it. He can run with it.
Okay.
Okay. So Seth runs with the blue, and just like that, Yoshi's triple play gives Seth a little bit of some life into the blues. What's it going to be here now from Yoshi? He's drawing, and now here comes
Ooh.
Seth.
Blue.
Does he have more in the tank? Let's see.
This might be a draw city.
Maybe. You never know with Seth, though. Remember, we just saw the blue-green reverses.
Oh, there you
hold
go.
it. Oh, man. This would be insane if this happens for a third time.
Is this the dagger?
That would be something.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. I thought for a second, my gosh. That would have been insane.
Oh, yeah. What does Yoshi do here? He might fire back something.
I don't know what do you do here? I mean, you can. I don't know. This is an interesting one from Seth. He throws the triple play and really puts Yoshi in a critical position. You gotta think here. Really, it comes down to this. Ed, do you think Seth's got 4 blues in a row? That's really what I'm thinking. Does he have 4 blues in a row? Or that's going to be the thing I think of.
Could be a wild, yeah.
No. Oh, Jerry, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, shout out Jerry, but not today. Not today. Let's see what Yoshi does here. Let's see.
Oh, boy. What is he going to do? He might fire something.
Well, no matter what happens here, it's got Yoshi thinking. That's, at the minimum, that's what Seth wants Yoshi to do. +4 in green, so that will stop that. There we go. Let's see what Seth will do here now. Well, there we go. There's the first +4. Now this is where we could start to see the ammo. Let's see. No, just the green 9.
Oh, rolling with the 9. Okay.
Top 4. All right. Yoshi with the 7.
Down to 2.
What'll Seth have right here? There's the 5. And Yoshi's drawing. Here comes Seth now. What will Seth have off the 5? Nothing, so that's it.
All city.
Yeah, both players now in it. Once again, maybe. We'll see. Yep. Right now it's drawing.
I do wonder if Seth had a finisher.
Don't know. I don't. Only thing I could think of is maybe he was trying to set up a number efficiency finish. Maybe try to go for another 5. That's all I can think of on that finish. That's all I can really think of.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask him after the game. It's fine. Green 4 now. Let's see what Seth will have right here. Off the topper, we'll find out. There's Yoshi with the cap, and we're going to draw on the cap, and we're going to continue to draw back. And okay, sure, 1 + 4, great. But regardless, it's been, like I said, low ammo, really control, patient Uno, and really controlling your emotions more than controlling the fate or anything. Control your emotion. How do you try to win in games when you're not getting the connectors right away? That's the art of resiliency, right? And I think both guys are going to have to play into that today to win this series for sure. So we go into this now. Similar styles of Cody and Lara, where Game 3 was really long. Or Game 2 was really long, excuse me. Game 3 has potential here. The old 7-Eleven classic. Yeah. There we go. There's the switch, and that's yellow. So that's Seth making a little small break. Yeah, we'll do a small break now.
See if anyone got some good connectors off of that.
Let's see what Yoshi will do here. He's just going to draw. Play it patient. Okay.
Sure, why not?
Let Seth kind of use his ammo and see you go from there. Or does Seth play it cool? Let's find out. He's going to play it cool as well. They're 5. Sting this time. Thanks. Double play for Yoshi. Maybe just had a yellow skip. Just need the connector right there. Here comes Seth now. Or does he fire in? Both guys have been playing it cool. If you're just joining us, 1-1 at home. Long Game 3, and there's a break from Seth into the blues. Looking at the CH, plenty of cards in blue. We've really scratched the surface on anything in blue and ammo, other than reverse skip meta. Plenty of things to go. Plenty of ammo all to go around. But we have not been seeing it so far. Here comes Seth.
cooking up something.
Does Seth have a cook up? Not same thing. There's that +2 draw. Sends him back packing a little bit. Seen that one before. Christian Tago off the top rope says he likes that. All right, Tago likes that. Well, you know why you like it? Because we saw it. We saw it earlier in last game, right? Seth did the same thing with the red +2. So now we're starting to develop the battle lines. It makes sense. And you know why you like that? Because what if there's a run? Now, while there hasn't been a lot of runs this game, you can never count that and factor in a potential 4 or 5 bagger to finish. So I get where Seth's coming from that 100%. You got to prevent that run.
Just stick with blue. Roll with it.
It's that percentage Uno coming in. Here comes Seth now into the Bad Brad Blue Deuce from Yoshi. We'll see Bad Brad tomorrow with Tago, as aforementioned. Seth taking his time now. His own card. All right. Not the first one on the wild variety, but with first one a hot seconds. We have 2-2 on that. Really been even 6-6 on skips. As there's the +4 from Yoshi, may just try and prevent something. So once again here, you gotta think here at that wild. Sure, it's a flush, but it flushed Yoshi's +4, and that's big right there. Now Seth can have free choice if he feels comfortable that the green ain't gonna work.
Yeah, let's see what he can do here. He's usually got the lead for now, but now Seth has a decent arsenal of cards, so see how he responds.
Oh, he's gonna respond with a triple into yellow, which had been a safe bet, and there it is. It's a non-play right there, classic non-play, end around, and he does the ditto on himself, and that's gonna put Yoshi back. Seth looking for the tie right here. Here we go. It flips back.
That really
in
worked out
favor
for
of
Seth.
On momentum. Yeah, great play. Ties it up. Even if Yoshi's got a play here, that's big for Seth to get the momentum back in his favor, and it's a topper.
Yeah, got Yoshi to use that +4, narrowed the gap, and he's rolling with it.
Seth, another triple play, and he's really using that reverse skip meta. Yoshi himself into Goldie, in the gun, and now Seth to 2, if you can play. No, but he can't. Man, the isolation from both parties has been unbelievable here, Ed. They have just been deciding, you know what, let's roll into the patience game. That's a topper. It's a topper there. Nothing crazy. The reverse skip meta is real. The patience is real. The draw cities, not getting the connectors is real. Everything you want in a game in terms of classic Uno, this is what we're getting. Very patient, very methodical. Bide your time on the progressions and reads, for sure.
Exactly.
Yoshi topper, set draws. Here comes Yoshi. He'll draw again.
Drawing a little bit, looking for what they want. They're going to take their time with it.
There's not really much else to say other than take your time, right, Ed? Because look, greens, +2s, free game, really. Reverse skip's still out there. +4s, half of them are gone, but you got 3 wild. There's plenty of stuff in the old deck there. We're filling up fast today here on Friday afternoon. Appreciate it.
Great audience.
Yoshi makes the break into red.
Ooh.
And we talk about this all the time. It's the skill element, right? These guys are putting on a skill display. There's an art to skill in this game, and this is what you'd see is Yoshi will tie it up with Ed. Seth's got the possession here. We'll see what he can do. There we go. Got it. And there's an art of just the skill element of, okay, both guys are going to play. There's a heat check from Yoshi into the KT blue.
He wants that blue.
Now what will Seth have here? Remember, he had flushed it earlier with that regular wild off the +4 Yoshi through, and he plays into it. We'll be here from Yoshi. He'll play cool.
Okay.
And Seth back to red. Wow.
Is that going to ice him? Or is he
We'll
ready?
ice him. We'll find out. Or is this a run? We'll be here from Yoshi on a potential red 1 icer from Seth. Oh, it is a run. Yeah. Oh, wow. Off the +2. A trip. We hadn't seen that all game.
There's the +2s.
Yeah, there they go hiding. I'll go to Seth. Well, Seth, I guess the only move for you would have been just to play cool in the blue. You kind of got baited into a triple +2, but we had not seen that all game, so who knows if you would have called that. Talk to me through that game about the patience game, and did you have something cooking maybe on a finish on that? What was it? The blue 5? Was that another 5 you're looking for?
It was. It was actually the mistake I made at the very
That's what I
beginning of the
thought.
game where I typed by mistake in the green 5. That was the menace just staring at me the whole game. And it's like, why are you still here? And yeah, I
Right.
mean, Yoshi played it right. When he had that +4 there, again, power play kind of came into consideration. Didn't do it. Maybe this time I probably, in hindsight, should have utilized it at that point in time, especially knowing what he was able to do defensively on that first game with stopping me with the wild card. So, yeah, again, connectors, it's tough. Utilized a couple of them middle of the game, but then just there was
Right.
nothing there at the end. There was some number efficiency that could have happened with the numbers I had in certain colors, but they all had to just fall the right way, and obviously at that point they didn't, and he had some tremendous ammo cards there at the end, so yeah, hopefully, I don't know what a wild draw 4 looks like, at least in my hand yet. Hopefully that happens in game 4.
Yeah, that's something. We've seen that before. Ask Lane Sanders. We'll go to Yoshi. Yoshi, I think this is kind of the same meta. Then again, it's once again, at this rate, we just have to accept it's going to be this ticky-tacky, gotta know when to draw, right? Find a connector. Talk to me how you were able to go through that using some of that back-end ammo and really just baiting him to go to that rep. We had not seen something of that caliber on a triple +2 all day, for sure.
Yeah, so definitely, the game did not make it easy for me to win. Yes, I'm pretty sure I had like 2 +4s and a wild over the course of that game, but obviously I had to use the +4 to stop him from winning because I knew what his last card was. And then my hand, I didn't have a clear path. I had to I had
Right.
2 color options. I just went to green. It was like, screw it, let him play the green 5. At this point, just let him play it. And then from that point, I was getting stuff, but I think some of the I was definitely trying to go. I think there were points where I was going aggressive. Like I went aggressive on that +4. On that second +4, he was able to switch. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best move. Just trying to read the room that maybe he just doesn't have, the cards, and so even when you go aggressive like that, it can work out if they don't have the cards to really win the game. So it just worked out in my favor. And then with my last few cards, I had to take a risk because I had a blue 1 Stray. So my hope was that he would just go for this. Hope he has a 1 in his hand so that he could switch into any other color, and I would have won the game. So that was the gamble I took. Finally, an aggressive, I went aggressive a bit too much, but in this case, the aggression kind of worked in my favor, or at least at the end, the last move.
It's going to be interesting to know. Appreciate that, Ed. It's definitely a game of you almost have to feel the air, right? You have to feel the air, sense the run, and because we haven't seen a single run all day of that caliber, camouflage looks towards the end. Maybe around 4 to 6 cards will be important, whereas maybe they don't matter as much in this specific meta. Let's say at 8 or 9 or 10, unless we go down to that classic 5, 6, 7 card start, which that's a little bit different. We haven't really we've been seeing more mid tier, not much upper tier, just upper mid tier if anything. No crazy plays, and maybe because you simplify the game, right? Play that upper mid tier or mid tier, you just have less thinking, and when you have less thinking, sometimes you can really use more of your brain. So I'm interested in this for sure. How this meta will continue for sure.
Me too.
All right, we'll go to game 4 now. It's back to Yoshi. Yoshi, you know the drill, and I'm also gonna take a little step back as well to get something at my door. So, what do you got, my friend? All right, perfect. 13 cards. All right, so we're gonna have Ty go put it in. I'm gonna give Short the call because I'm just gonna pick this package up on my door. So here we go. There you go. I'll start the call.
Got you.
Let me start the call here. Green 3 are underway. Short, Ed will take it for a couple seconds here.
All right. Radin 3 to
All
start
right,
us
then.
off. 2-1 Yoshi. Now his final home game of the first home stand before the arrow shifts back to Seth for game 5. And Yoshi gonna ditto the bot here off the start. See what Seth does to open us up in game 4.
Yeah, Yoshi's got that slight 2-1 advantage right now. 2 games to 1. Still got the power play back in his pocket. He's got to be feeling pretty good here. Just got to stay consistent.
That's good, Yoshi. Crossing over to yellow. Hey, you better show up on time this tournament. We would love to see that. He'll be playing background tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the Slushy region. It's a 7-10 matchup as Seth is going to undercut that cross to red with the Allen 9. Going for sand for 6 is Yoshi, and now we're running in red. Lots of crossing over early as my Discord bugs out on me. The Tapir 4. And another switch. A lot of switching early here in game 4. Crossing to blue is Yoshi again, so Pandora's box opened in just inside of 90 seconds. And then there is the Retro 8. See him starting the day tomorrow against Charles Sanford 11. The
I think the pace has picked up here too.
Yeah, the pace, picking up a little bit. Crossing back to red as Seth.
How? Jumping from color to color.
Oh, Ed, you cutting out.
He good.
Oh.
On my end, he cutting out, boy.
Oh my goodness, another undercut. And it got quad ones on the board, and my Discord is being a total
what the heck
jerk right now. Crossing back to green. Goodness.
Damn. I mean, dang.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Wait, that's loud. And now Yoshi finally iced after all that crossing over. Yoshi finally runs out, and Seth also iced. So again, they're maybe trying to push that patience envelope again. Maybe with the trying to ice out, but there comes Yoshi with a double play. Just as I say that, I get jinxed a lot.
That'll happen.
Indeed, it will. And Seth with another 1. That does tend to happen, doesn't it?
Goodness.
You good, boss?
I don't know what happened, man. It just cut me out.
Yeah, it's just like you just kind of dipped, man. We're just handed.
Yeah, I straight dipped because it said error 2 whatever. What?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Well, we thought they were iced a little on green, but now they're both running at it. So there might be a little poker coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll check the API later after this game. Let's hope it's not the case. But we've seen these issues on Friday afternoons before. Ironically, that seems to be the day. If there's any day.
Oh yeah, it just took some huge spikes.
Oh my!
Yes.
Triple play there.
That's
staying
first
red.
+4.
Yeah,
I got
plus
it from
4.
here,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm looking now that the API took some huge spikes in the last half hour, but I mean it's bottomed out at this point. That was like half an hour ago. Like it was up at like 1600.
We apologize for the tech difficulty. Can't control that junk.
You love to see it. When I say that, I say it sarcastically.
I know we had a lot of concerns. We go back to the green. I know we had a lot of concerns about with the bot last, and I never had a doubt in my mind it would. It was more just what would happen Sunday afternoon onwards. We just had no idea. This is something we can't control. But back to the game here now, Ed. Seth drawing on this. It's going to be interesting. Well, it was drawing on this. I get a free chance.
Switching.
The lights are flashing so much on this one.
Exactly.
Oh, so as soon as I leave, they say, okay, boss isn't here. That old guy ain't here.
They went crazy.
Yeah. That's
they went crazy when you were gone. I thought it was bangers only when the boss is here, not when. I thought the games get like crap when I take over.
Well, remember, we've had an old school meta. This is what I used. This light switching. This is what we're more like it. This is what we see more normal. what we were seeing those first 3 games was unbelievable. Old school 2000s, 2000. This is what I used to. This is more Tago, Vapor, these guys, these light switchers. Let's see what Yoshi will do here as we go to the Blue 9 top 4, Nick. Seth with still the possession arrow and the lead. You wonder for Seth, those 2 missed opportunities on power play. We'll have to keep it in mind. That's interesting. Back to yellow now.
Another one back to yellow. We already saw the other yellow 9 earlier. We're seeing a lot of like numbers come up here.
5-card stud, 9s are wild.
Similar connections.
Comes Seth. Oh, God. Into the old Z. The Z bow tie, as I call it.
Z. Plus
Shalloms.
Those look like a Z.
Yeah.
It is a Z. +4. Yeah, now it's off the rails. Here we go. That's mine.
It really is.
All right.
No.
Seth Cole now. We'll see what he can do with the +4. And there's not himself. Here we go. Let's see what we can load up in. Now Seth with a chance here. +4 is starting to go wild. Let's see what he's got in the back kittle on this blue. Taking his time, thinking this one through. Does he have a response back to give Yoshi some cards? And he will. It's a plus. This is huge. Mega run from Seth, looking for a 4th bagger, and he will get the quad.
That's his second +4 combo into red.
Yeah, this game now there's no more red +2s. Now we're starting to get into more what we've seen a little bit. Patience game is over. Now you gotta wonder here, Ed, as the aggression starts to pick up, is that partially naturally because the series is getting later now? We're starting to get a little later into it. No more game 1-2. We're into game 4.
Absolutely. I think the pressure's starting to pick up, especially for Seth here. I mean, no +4s before this game, and now 2 in this one. So, I think business is picking up.
It's on the front end now. Front end field, red 5. Here comes a red 9. Now the front end field is starting to turn into more. Can a top deck happen for Seth? We'll see if Lightning will strike again. No more crazy plays on red +2s. We know that for sure. But there is a +4 lurking with plenty of reverse skip meta in the arsenal. As I catch myself up. Just as I say that, there we go. The read's open. Here comes a double.
Class starts at 4:15, I suppose.
It always starts. It's never out of session. It's always in session. Here he comes.
As long as the stream's running.
Yeah, that's true. There it is. 4-4 now, just like that. Possession arrow is still in Seth's favor, but the lead is gone. Into yellow. What will Seth have right here? Off the reds is interesting. No +2s being thrown. Here comes Seth.
You might have some here.
Seth with the reverse skip meta of his own. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Is this a triple
Is
for
this
the
a
finish,
finisher?
or do you think this would be something? Is it's lagging again on mine? It's a triple.
Oh boy. Blue 0. Oh.
I think you're. This is interesting. It's getting some background from Lee. I'll let her pick it up a little later. See what Yoshi will do, because there's no green 5 this time, unlike that last game. So this one you don't know.
It's very interesting. Oh boy. I mean, it's not a unique situation. Seth's gone down to Uno before, and Yoshi's responded.
That'll be the last +4 if it's used, for sure. Oh my god, that is nasty. There's nothing you could do on that one if you're Seth. Wow. It's crazy, man, because think about it. He just goes into the yellow, goes to the blue, and then all of a sudden it's over. That's an intriguing meta right there. I don't know. Seth, I'm going to assume no power play opportunity on this one, right?
No, not really.
Okay.
I was stuck with a green 2. There was no way to be able to change. The only thing that I could do, I didn't know what other ammo he had on the other side. I knew the 3 of the +4s had been used, and I thought maybe he might have, if not a wild, the other +4. So I was trying to flush it out. That's why I brought it down to check. Otherwise, I would have possibly tried to go into a little bit more of a draw city, because I had the connector from yellow into blue, but that that green 2 was the biggest issue for me. Was a little bit more on the defense maybe this game than I have been in the previous 3, since didn't have the possession arrow and didn't get to really use the +4s the way that I wanted to. Had to use the +4 +2 combo to draw him back, make it a little bit more of an even game. I had some fairly good ammo cards after that, but yeah, I kind of wish I had been able to keep them for just a little bit longer. Wasn't able to ice him into a draw city like I've been able to in the 2 previous games. But yeah, I think I think I need to be a little bit more aware of the +2s because he's hit me with them at the end in the last 2 games. So I knew that he was probably going to get some ammo on the return from those +4s. That was a risk I was willing to take.
Right. I got you. So that's a case of we'll call napping on the look, but it is interesting. I'll go to Yoshi. Yoshi, I think this one, I'm trying to pick it up a little bit. Short said it was a lot of light switching, a lot more aggression with that. Was that a little bit different part of the playbook, saying, okay, the games have been pretty patient. Now I'm going to throw the light switch in because I feel confident more with the hand, and you had some more in the back? Or did some of those +2s come off that +4 return from Seth, those double +4s?
So I don't remember exactly, but your first point was definitely on the money. Me being a bit more confident with my hand. I'm just gonna switch. I'm gonna start switching a little bit more. And I think So I believe I started with a wild and a +4, and then one of his +4s gave me another +4. So what ended up happening was him using that second +4. It became very powerful information knowing that I had the last +4. So really, I really took advantage of that. I think that was the big thing for me. It's like you get to a point where the ammo starts getting used up, and then you have the last of that ammo. It's like it becomes a powerful tool. I do think his second +4 was actually good. I think his second +4 was good because I do believe it stopped me from up. But I don't remember if I was close to winning. I think when I played right before he did that. So that second +4 was good. I think the first one gave me the ammo though. So he did play really well, and I understand the way he was the thing he was going for, and obviously it's hard to predict all +4s being kind of used up, and we're only halfway through the deck. It's tough to predict that, but and even in his case, he couldn't really do anything anyway. I guess, yeah, no, I was just out. It's not just about me being more confident is obviously one thing, but also just switching up the strategy is also another thing. Because you can't, if you're one note the whole time, it's not only is it not always going to work, but also the opponent can start expecting the same things from you. So you really have to switch things up if you want to win here.
Yeah, it's the old adage, right? Be multifaceted, multidimensional for sure. And I think Tayo, you were right, buddy. I think that's a case of we talk about the 3D look. But this is I would say this is a little bit harder today to really think about that, because all this time you see something you haven't seen in a while, this OG, really old school ammo or old school game of Uno, and then all of a sudden you almost have to adjust to the modern game of, okay, the light switching, okay, I'm confident in my hand, okay, I can play a little bit more aggressive, and it's very hard. It's very easy to turn down somebody to go from no control to control, but it's a little bit harder that has the control to then play aggressively. Talk to me about the fine line, man, for the viewers at home. What's that fine line? How we've all been there to the viewers. Talk me through that real quick, Ed. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all about having a balance. Just choosing the right times to create those chains with ammo is really what can make or break your game. And I think, honestly, patience was starting to run out after those first couple of games there. So they went kind of crazy on the ammo, and now Yoshi's up, and he's got that power play in his back pocket, which he's going to be looking to use. So Seth's going to have to look out for that.
Seth and Yoshi both with the power play. Like I said, we will finally at least break the sweeps for sure. The sweeps are gone, but gentleman's still out there. It will be Seth's call, though. Seth, no 9. What do you got, my friend? Everything else is freeboard.
Double digits have not been kind to me today, KT. Let's go 8.
All right, crazy. We saw this with Cody Lamas to finish it off in his game. We'll see if this continues. Half off special, too. How about that? With the Mr. Flesh himself, Austin Riders. Well, this is gonna be a doozy now, because both guys have pretty much said it's gonna come down to the hand, but we've yet to see this real low 2. We saw the 9, but this is 8. This can go quick. Let's see who's got it.
And down to 8. This might be a little bit of a gamble for Seth, but we'll see what cards they got here at the start.
Sometimes you got to risk, and there's the old switch into the green, and now Yoshi will be the first to initiate that.
Right back to the switching, leading right where they left off.
Here comes Seth. He'll just, there we go, 1 up this time. I think we are trying to at least establish some credentials with Discord. They're trying to get back on track himself after a whole slag spike, so that's good. Always holds your breath on that every time for sure. Here comes Yoshi now. Let's see what he's got. He'll go into the green too. And now, what's the meta going to be? Is it going to go back to that game 1-2 because of the 8 cards where it's more draw city? Is it going to be a case of, okay, do you want to push the throttle because you're down 3-1? It's going to be interesting for Seth. We'll see how he controls it. This is nothing new. He's made 3-1 comebacks before. Ironically, his 3-1 comeback most notably was against Acosta, who he'll be playing next when he was down 3-1. Here he comes, loading up.
Something here.
Taking his time now. He's going to go for the triple play
wow.
into the KT. Yep. And Yoshi will oblige. Here comes Seth. What does he have right here to get this maybe into a check situation or may finish the game? Let's find out.
So you can get this all the way down. I mean, what a great amount of ammo.
Power play. That's sure.
gosh.
Yeah, that's surely going to be 3-2. There's the play. Seth gets to the blue 7. Here we go for the finish, and that's going to put us into probably our fastest game, if I'm not mistaken, and a Game 6 confirmed. It's been a hot second since we said those words after 3 straight sweeps. Here comes Seth. I don't think there's anything. Oh, plus. Yeah, good move. Great move. You got to throw it there, I think. Ed, you can't take the risk. I like that play. Yeah,
there you go.
How about that? 222.
That lower card start worked out.
Great gamble, man. Return in your favor. Pretty much playing. I don't got much to say, man. First time we've seen that one all series, really.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the hand, I knew the power play was probably getting used in this game. I got a lot more ammo on the initial with a wild and a +4.
Oh yeah.
It was just a matter because Yoshi's had an answer at the end of games 3 and 4. Had to stall it out at this point here. I know he's still got his power play, but you can't. You know, if you end up losing 4-1, that power play is null and void. You can't do anything with it. So I figured best time to use it, draw it back 3-2. Probably the best hand that I've gotten so far in this entire game. Was able to control most of the color there. So yeah, that one worked out. Hopefully now with the lack of power play, that's not going to come back to hurt me here. Maybe draw it back even. But I do definitely have to be aware on the defensive side that he's got that power play still available too.
Yeah, I don't have any question for you. Yoshi, I have to assume just not a good hand, or did you have something to return? I don't really got much here. Plan A, really.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I could have really done to stop that. Yeah, I didn't have the cards to switch there. And, I mean, that's about it. I mean, yeah, like, that's, like, the only thing maybe you could argue I did wrong was, I switched into green, but, like, even if the only other option was to keep it yellow, which would have led to this result. It would have,
sounds good to me.
Wait.
Man, I didn't have problems, man.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 100% on my end. I got 5,000 MS. That's 100% my end. Keep it going, man. Keep talking. I gotta reach it.
So basically, my 2 options. I didn't have much control. I mean, I figured, okay, it was started yellow. I could have either kept it yellow or switched to green. Either way would have led to the same result. So I'm not like that's just a game where I'll accept the loss. The power play, him using the power play, I mean, it is good, but I feel like the way Seth plays, it's going to be hard to really, do a defensive power play on him. The game plan is still the same. Just got to get that finish at the end if possible, and then see what happens.
All right, well, we'll see. It'll be Yoshi's call here. Ed, really nothing much to say on that one. Classic plan A. We'll see what he can do. Logs in play, Yoshi. No 12, no 13, no 10. Free board other than that. What do you got? No. No sense. No sense. So, the only guy I would send it would be Seth if he wants to. And I don't know. We'll see as we go red +2. If we get there, you got to think here. Seth's been really rolling with these lower card starts, though. That's the thing. Do you want to send it? That's going to be the question if we go there. That's the thing.
Hey, the low card start paid off last time. I don't know if he's gonna want to go for it after how successfully the last one went. But first, he's got to defend here.
We'll go to the red 4. As we continue, we might be, like I said, losing some people just because of Discord, to be honest. It's definitely cracking out a little bit.
A little bit.
Blue 4 now, and we go into a switch from Yoshi now. We'll see what Seth will do. No power play, so I'll have to play this one differently. Here he comes. Oh yeah, we're definitely. Oh, 7 up plus 4.
Oh.
We're definitely cracking out on Discord. My MS is starting to go. Whoosh. Red plus 4 now. Let's see what Yoshi will do in return. Seth throws an early one. Interesting.
Very early, but I guess that's kind of one of the moves you need to make to act defensively. I mean, just to defend against that power play.
Yeah, I get it. I understand from exactly where you're coming from, Ed. And that's the thing, right? We don't have that power play. You can now if you're Yoshi. All right, appreciate it. It's 100% on my end. Then that's not good. We are getting storms coming in, rolling in. It has been a humid day. As we go back to blue, it's on my end, buddy. 100%. As I'm about to get hit with some storms here. It's probably where we're at. Blue 4. Now we're going to Nam. Now does Seth have any more blue? I kind of think yes. No, interesting.
Nice.
No 4s either. Interesting. Oh, never mind. Maybe Cody Smart got to leave. Okay. He just texted me that. No problem. Oh, I love that 80-degree day. That was nice. Here comes Yoshi now. Let's see what he'll do. Off the blue Nam 4. Plus 2 from Yoshi. He'll throw the heater down and he'll go for a double play into the blue 5 to JT. And now he's got the lead back. Seth that early plus 4. What's he got in return? Now it's a battle.
He threw one so early. He might have another one.
He could be. Yeah, it goes to green. And Yoshi obliges. Seth obliges with a 3. Let's see what I'll do here. Taking his time on this one. Let's go double up special. The old classic. Double it up. Now Seth will have you said it, Eddie. He might have a second one. That's the only thing I can think of. You might be on something. If you throw one, maybe there is a second one or some plus 2 meta that's hasn't been played yet since store. We'll see.
He threw it so early, which kind of leads me to believe he might
There's the plus 2, yep. Plus 2 meta, triple play. He's got the lead back. Looking for a quad right here. Interesting. Leaves it open.
He's been leaving it open a lot today. I feel like I haven't really seen that before much in my commentary career.
Well, it's intriguing, right? You're trying to expose a color and you just try to prevent a number efficiency play because there's less reverse skip meta. It's played at percentages, but it is risky for sure. And sometimes you get the bait. He'll just draw here. So I don't know. Maybe now I'm starting to question if he had it at all here. On that plus 4 second. At first, you're looking good. I was like, okay, maybe Ed's right here, but now I don't know. This is intriguing.
Oh.
It'll be from Yoshi here, taking his time, thinking this one through. Goes to blue. So now Seth, he didn't have the blue earlier, unless he was saving it. That's all I can think of. To play the blue one, okay. You're the ref, man. You're the ref.
Ref's got money on the game.
Oh, God. Good Lord.
Oh, boy.
Appreciate that, Chris. No, all joking aside. We'll see what happens. You might be right, but realistically, we gotta still keep the element of surprise. I think the thing I'm more surprised with though is that early plus 4 Ed because We haven't seen that in a hot minute from Seth. The reverse to skip meta, just leaving it open, I understand that completely. The +4 early, I'm interested. I'm genuinely curious. Let's see what Seth's got here. He feels it too. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he might throw. This might be that second +4. This will be it right here.
Something's coming.
Well, This might a workaround way to say, Ed, you were right. Let's see.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. That's the beauty in the. Yeah, there it is. You're right.
There it
Okay,
is.
so little patience game. Good play from Seth there. You don't want to risk it. Good move there. First time in yellow too. It's crazy. So that opens the floor a little bit for both.
Yeah, I feel like he had to throw that. Gotta be defensive.
Yellow 4 now. Ditto play from Yoshi himself. Here comes the Seth now. And he'll play it clean. In the blue, that's big for Yoshi. Pending unless Seth saved the blue or some type of 7. He saved the blue though. It's a save right there. Comfortable save for Seth on the blue. +2 from Yoshi.
Oh wow.
Double play. That's it. Now Seth, down possession with 2 freshies. What does he got? Plays it clean. Extended, yeah. Just extend the olive branch a little more, right? Yoshi draws. Here comes Seth.
Yeah. Wonder if Seth has more yellow that he didn't get to use there.
Oh, Ed, what a read!
Well,
you kidding me? School's in
as
session,
I was
Ed.
saying.
Oh, but that's not. Oh no. Seth loves wilds though. This ain't over yet. No. Is that a classic? That'd be something.
Could be.
It is a classic. Wow, just that is intriguing, man. Just throw it there, saying, you know what? I think the last time I saw that low was Caesar Monkey, but that was different because Caesar, I think, was just getting absolutely torched all night on defense. This one's a little different. This one's feeling a little confident. Play some toppers.
Yeah.
See, but Seth, you can just get rid of this back to yellow, right? You can just get this back to yellow, and there's the read. School is open. It continues. Unbelievable. I gotta tell you, man. One day when it's all said and done for the ball, I gotta start a school of reads. Man, I gotta put that in my old journal one day. School of reads.
That's a good idea.
It's always in the back end. Oh, but back to the
my God.
This reminds me of Seth versus Retro, man. Those wilds. This has got to be ISO again, surely, no? Yep.
Man, oh man.
Oh my, this is a new way to use it for sure. Another classic. Try not to finish the job. It's definitely interesting. And that's just because they just don't have anything. They don't have anything on any other cards, so you just play the classic and try to prevent the stall as. You just live with those toppers, right? Nothing crazy.
Icing each other out, They are both acting very defensive.
Is that the yellow again? He got another one back to yellow. It's green, but something new though.
He might have burned through the yellow. Maybe he's trying to switch to other colors now.
Yeah, that's a good assessment. Burn through the yellow, see what we can go from there. There's a 0 sugar. There's a 0 sugar, and there's a reverse Jenna, goalie Jenna. Here comes Seth. What has he got in his green? Plays a cap. Cap clean. Captain clean, huh?
That's right.
Yoshi's out. Here comes Seth for deuce. What's he got? Reloading up now. Does Seth have a finisher? Let's see. This green was no finisher, but he's at check. No power play either, so we'll see how this one goes.
Not a new situation here for Yoshi.
No, he's been here so many times. Let's see what he can do. Seth looking to force the G7. Been rare. It's been rare this tournament. Only seen 2 of them.
Yoshi's typing.
He is typing. What do we got? Seth throws the gauntlet down. He's been here so many times, just 1 away.
Like the 3rd time, I think.
Yeah, you executed it well in that last game with the power play, but the other times, yeah.
Mhm.
But it's hard to read now because it's hard to go back to blue here, and here's why, Ed. Because if you go back to blue on a 9, what if he's got the... It's so hard to read, right?
Yeah.
That's a risky play to go back to blue. You're basically playing chances, and you got to just go through the CH and see where you can go. And this is a tough one. I'm not sure on this read.
Yeah, I think you haven't seen red in so long that these guys might be trying to switch to that, and they're kind of just switching the colors to get each other to draw. So kind of avoiding the red, I think. See what Yoshi does here.
Well, that will solve the problem, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, the day that may have just prevented that little spurt from Seth may have prevented the finish, right? Because of that +4, you prevent the finish, and this could be a case of just okay, draw city, right? Yep, saw that coming. Yeah, I mean this is the meta, right? We're now back to that game 1-2. Ironically, we're defense, patience. It's back into style compared to what we saw the last. At least game 5, game 6 was just straight eater there from Seth. Yep, under an hour still.
Drawing like crazy.
Yeah, that's what you expect, though, right? We're seeing the blues, we're seeing the toppers. Now we just go from there.
Saw a lot of MOUs. Might kind of shift into a little bit more number of fish here.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, Ed. Blue 0 sugar. Let's see if Seth's got anything. Nope, he's just going to play a contend. 3 possessions here.
I've been weak on blue for a long time.
Well, there's a reason why. There's definitely a reason why they're weak on blue, and I think the reason why, in my humble opinion, is because it's juiced, and you just are afraid of the move. So let's see. No +2s are coming in this color, so you know you're not going to get anything in the back end. Seth goes for the move. Here's a triple. He's got the lead back if he can just finish out the card. Or does he have
Into
more
that
to
yellow
take?
that he likes.
Yeah, he seemed to like that yellow earlier too. He's got the lead, looking for more. Oh, he's got the plus. This is the +Z.
Oh wow!
And there's the yellow 8. He'll just finish it off there in a second. There we go. Back to green, says Yoshi, though, just like that. Interesting. Seth's up 4. Does Seth have a potential switch, though, with the 8s? No, roll with the greens, though. That's big.
Still waiting for these reds to roll, and I feel like we haven't seen a red in a long time.
It could be the key. Could be the lock and key to finish it. We'll see. Nothing really yet on the reds. Contend the greens, and that could be the finisher, right? That's what.
Yeah.
That could be the finisher. You got to know when to play it. That's the key. And Seth's going to draw. Remember, winner this game does get Acosta coming up. No matter who wins this game, we'll get home. Acosta, the 14 seed. Logan was the perennial favorite in this pod, and he bit the dust yesterday. Big win for Acosta, as aforementioned off the top. Comes Yoshi. See what he'll do here. There you go. Now it's a game, Ed. Right now it's a game of okay, who's got a shot? Because now Seth's going to feel the pressure of who's got that +2 in red, who's got the lurkers. That's the key.
Yeah, opening up a ton of new possibilities here with this color change.
And it's the red 4 now. What will Seth do? Play it cool.
Seth's got to be careful. Yoshi's got that power play.
He does have that
Seth
power
has that
play. That's the
lead.
thing. Well, he gets off it to you. That is intriguing. I'm intrigued by that one. I'm not gonna lie. That's intriguing. Gets off the color we thought was the finisher, so maybe he's trying to undercut that finisher on the red from Seth. There's the +2.
Oh.
Plays the +2. Okay. Now Seth 2 freshies. What will he have in those freshies? 1 +4 remaining. In the blue, that's safe for no +2s.
Is this going to lead to some drawing, or did Yoshi save some blue?
I mean, the only thing I could say, I was going to say, there was one thing that was the one thing, the number efficiency was the only thing I could think that cost Seth, and that's going to end it, I think, here. Here comes Yoshi for the win, and there's the last +4. There it is. That's game. We were just waiting. Who's going to break out to that last +4? We just crossed over to we got to really catch up on that board thing. We're missing, man. We're missing all these board games. See, you got to work on that. All right, we'll go over to Seth though. Before congratulations, yo, Seth. I don't know, man. That game, Ed read it right. You had the double +2. You threw it in there, and then you just kind of got stuck you didn't stick the landing, maybe, or were you just trying to play the +4, knowing that, let's face it, that power play at any moment could have been dropped, and you just played defensive.
I had two +4s right off the bat, and you wouldn't necessarily think that the first card played could maybe be the difference maker. For Yoshi, I think, what did we start in red, and he swapped it over to blue. I had no blue. So it was a matter of, do I continue to draw back here when he's got the power play, have him with the possession advantage? And I figured since I had another +4, I would utilize the first one right out of the gate just to kind of draw him back a little bit, have a little bit more on the possession advantage, maybe counter his advantage with the power play a little bit. Down there at the end, I had basically two choices. I figured he probably had the other +4. We had played so far into this that there was no way he didn't have a +4 in reserve. I could have kept it in yellow, but my thought process is that's probably what he wants to finish out with the +4. I thought maybe if I swapped it over to blue, then I'm going to force that +4 out. Maybe he wouldn't be able to utilize the power play at that point in time. That was really the only shot I had, and of course he had the number efficiency there to swap it over into the red with the 3. So it was basically a 50-50 shot. I think I went with the right choice there, because even if I had played the yellow 5, he still had the +4 where he could have gotten it back over to red. So yeah, I mean, I said this before earlier today in the game that I commentated. When you're on the losing end of these kind of games, you honestly really don't mind, because it was competitive. That really there were no mistakes. Everybody just basically played exactly the way they needed to, and sometimes you end up having the correct plays, and sometimes you don't. I don't think that either of us had any mistakes today, and when it's a game like that, you don't mind missing out on that series. So congrats to Yoshi. Well played on his part. Best of luck to him going forward here in this tournament. But yeah, I got nothing else to say except that was a lot of fun, and we finally broke the streak. We didn't go into a final game in a series that I'm a part of, so yay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No sweep either. We broke that streak to 3 in a row. That would have been something. I knew this game wouldn't be a sweep, though. This had potential to go for. All right, Yoshi, that last game I got to ask, was that a patience game in the sense you went back to that patience meta? The KT Classic Wilds right there. I knew that was coming. But why? Talk to me about the mindset of why throw it there. Did you just fear you had nothing else in another color, and you just weren't confident enough to say, you know what, blue's just the most recency thing, and that's a safe play. There's no fade there. Talk me through that. What was going through your mind with those wild fades? Those are great.
So yeah, what in my head I knew that the way that I play this game, I try to get any ounce of finding something I can, finding a stray color that he has, finding just anything, and if I'm left in the dark in that, it becomes very hard for me, and I tend to overthink a lot. And obviously, I think for players, obviously it's not as easy as it sounds to have such a game where it takes them 5, 10 turns to not know what you have in your hand. Eventually it becomes obvious the more you play. What ended up happening there was I keep trying to remember. So he played the +4. I had a wild. When he played his first +4, or at least the yellow +4 into the yellow 4. I had a wild. I felt the sense that he was gonna do something. He's like, okay, I go to blue. He went back to yellow. I'm like, okay, I'm not risking this, and my hand is not that great at the moment. So let me just KT Classic this. And then I think I drew another wild in those draws.
Okay.
The second KT Classic. And it's funny because the 2 +4s that I got were towards the latter half of the game. It was it was after the KT Classics, I think, or maybe it was at the very end, right before we switched out of blue, that I got my first +4 of the game. So yeah, my hand, again, it's I have to play. When your hand isn't the greatest, you have to balance aggression and the defense. You shouldn't be completely defensive because then it becomes then like if they know that you're going to be defensive, they can bait you out. But what I ended up doing was I'm like, okay, I gotta go aggressive on this blue. I just gotta keep forcing the draw, see if I get anything. I ended up getting some stuff, which allowed me to +4 him when he got to Uno on the green 9. And then knowing that I had the last +4 left, I was just trying to be as patient as I could, hoping that he wouldn't get the finish before I did. So yeah, I'm happy I got this win. I knew this was going to be a tough one, but I feel like just having the intuition to like force those draws when I can, I feel like I need to do that to win, because like otherwise, if you don't force the draw, then like they're not gonna draw and they're gonna win. Like that's kind of the aim of the game for me, at least.
Your thoughts on playing Acosta? This reminds me a lot of last year. Ironically, you were a 16 and you played a 14 after Eli got upset with Aiden Smith. But this is a different beast here. This is a new bot. I know people can overlook Acosta, but you can't just beat Logan. What do you think you gotta do to rattle his cage? I don't think you guys have ever played, so that's interesting.
Then we definitely have not played. But if someone upsets another player, that like you have to always consider that. You have to basically consider them as just as good as that top one, that player that he beat. Right. Worse, he's just as good as them at that point. So, I have to go in knowing that it's not going to be an easy match. I mean, I know the last time I did sweep the 14 seed, but like that was a different time. I feel like here it could go either. It could generally go either way. I'm just curious to see how he plays. I mean, what he did to beat Logan must have been pretty impressive. So I'll just have to just figure it out as I go. I mean, it's a missed opportunity to face Logan, because then if I beat him, it's a good win. But I obviously I'm not going to think about Super League at the moment. I mean, I'm still a long ways to go. I just this is the point where I'm in the round of 32 again, and I don't know, the last time I've gotten out of it I think was literally a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. So this is kind of like the barrier I need to break, and I hope I can do that against Acosta. But I know it's not going to be a easy one.
I'll appreciate that. Well, let's move forward to the bracket, and we'll get us out of here with Ed's final thoughts and the schedule. Bracket, it's pretty simple. It's going to be Costa Yoshi. Yoshi gets it home. Be another New York, New Jersey battle, part 2. And then we're waiting for Vapor and M. We'll see how that one goes, 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. That's real early. That will be Seth, and to be determined on who will be his team. We're thinking Lamas will confirm that as well. A little breaking news. We got short. We'll be streaming the hockey cap game at 2 o'clock Sunday. I'll be with family, so that's good to hear on that one. And that's all I got for that. The schedule, well, what you saw today was great. A lot of patience, a lot of forget throughout the window. Where are the +2s at? That's what Abion wants to do at 7 o'clock. And for DJ, he's going to try to get him in his cage. And then the game of the day, I still believe this is the game of the day. Nam brought from Super League last year and T5. A crazy thing. Nam has never been Brock yet. In a way, both those guys have yet to turn up to their full potential. Brock at 0-2 needs to win. Nam having an interesting season at 2-2. This is where he started to have some issues last year in T3. A lot of interesting storylines in the Candy region. We'll pop some candy at 9 o'clock. Ed, final thoughts before we sign off? Crazy game, buddy.
Hey, that was a good one. Very competitive. It was close every single game, and hey, we got plenty more Uno to broadcast today, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I got it. It's got him at 7 o'clock. My man Ed's back in the booth with the boss. Looking forward to it. For my friend Not Short for helping me stream today with the EP, appreciate it. He's going to enjoy the rest of the night off. And of course, Ed, want to thank the players today. Cody Lamas, Larry on stream, Yoshi, Seth. It's been a good day. Classic stuff. But now it's the nightcap. We'll see you back here with some 2 primetime matchups. I'll be on DJ the 8-9. And then, of course, the big one, Nam and Brock. What will happen at 9 o'clock in that close to primetime action? Looking forward to it. We'll see you at 7. We're getting some dinner. Peace out. This has been a presentation of MRE UNO Division 1.